Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Giggles and Glutes. My name is Donne.
Zoë. And today we're coming in hot with a topic that honestly should have been day one stuff in the fitness world.
Literally, and we are calling this episode Things the Fitness Industry Never Told Us, because honestly, wow, there's a lot of things that people often leave out.
So much. It's not just about what to eat and how to train. It's about the mental load, the myths, the complete nonsense we believed earlier on.
And how we've had to unlearn all of it to get to a place that actually feels healthy and sustainable.
So if you've ever been confused, frustrated, or just over it, this one's for you.
Okay, so let's start with the biggest shock to our system, and that is that progress is not linear.
Yeah, shocker. When I first started, I genuinely thought that if I am just gonna continue to train past burnout, because that's where the gains are. Past burnout.
Yeah.
I will be leaner, I will be faster, I will be stronger if I go to that point, when in reality, it's just the furthest thing from the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also when reality sinks in, you realize that your hormones, life stress, sleep, your period, or even just a rough, bad day, every single part of that plays a role.
Yeah, because 1 week you could literally be hitting PBs, and the next you can't even finish your warm-up. We have personal experience in that. And being like, we think we're gonna call a nap on that workout instead.
And also the scale, like, don't even get me started. When you would fluctuate for no reason, you would be drinking water, doing your workouts, eating well, and then all of a sudden you have 2 kgs extra weight overnight, it feels like. Then you start wondering, why is the number up on the scale?
Yeah, but we forget it could be water, inflammation, and all of this is normal. But no one tells you that at the start. They sell it like it's a constant upward curve, and that's just not real.
Exactly. And also there's so many aspects to progress, because it can look like having better form in your training, increase in energy throughout your day, increase in recovery as well, which means that you are sleeping better, and not just weight loss or hitting a new PB.
Yeah, for sure. And another big thing that I wish I knew earlier is that your mindset is going to matter more than the amount of macros you're consuming does every single time.
Absolutely, yes. And you can actually have the perfect program, the cleanest diet, be smashing every gym session, but if your mindset is toxic and you have that toxic relationship, it will never feel good.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm just thinking now, hey, I spent so long obsessing over calories and protein and reps, and while these things are important, my self-talk was trash. I never gave myself credit. I was constantly comparing, constantly thinking, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Why am I not where I'm supposed to be? Looking at people who led completely different lives to mine, you know? Even now, recently, when I was pregnant and I just gave birth, I was like comparing myself to people that didn't have a baby a year ago or 6 months ago or whatever, like the Lulu.
Yes. And this is the thing. You think that being mean to yourself is actually the thing that's going to keep you disciplined. Like, if you hated your body hard enough, then it would finally change. And that's such a lie, because we also get wrapped up in this comparison from yourself to other people. And I'm so glad that you said that you realize that people and you lead completely different lives. So how could you possibly compare, you know?
Yeah, and it's so backwards to think like this, but I'm so happy that I've moved on and gotten past that stage and rediscovered my love for myself. So now I train because I love my body, because I love feeling strong, you know? Not because I want to punish it. And yes, it's also about the aesthetics, because we want to look good in our
let's be honest,
top space. But it's just not the goal. It's just not the main thing.
Yes, exactly. And I think that once you make that mental switch, you actually start to enjoy the journey a lot more, and you look
Yeah.
forward to your workouts and not just the results, but also to feel good while you are doing them. So, like you said, aesthetics is not the main goal. It is one of the goals, but not the main goal. And I think when you shift your focus from that, it can change how you view exercise or just being active as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a vibe shift, the vibe shift that you
100%.
need.
100%. So let's talk about unlearning some stuff, because honestly, the amount of misinformation that we swallowed early on is ridiculous.
Yeah, things like carbs after 6 p.m. Sin. Fruit makes you fat and is high in sugar, so you should not have fruits. You must do fasted cardio or you'll never burn fat. And apple cider vinegar 3 times a day.
That could never be me. It was never me. And let's not forget that if you don't leave the gym drenched in absolute sweat, then your workout did not count. People actually live by this philosophy.
Yes. Me being one of those people. Or that if you lift weights, you'll bulk up like a man. And we know, and if you are a regular listener of this channel, you know as well that is utter nonsense. Babes, go
100%.
lift heavy things.
Lift heavy weights. And honestly, I used to think that lifting was just for aesthetics, but now you care more about how strong you feel, actually, more than how you look. I mean, looking strong is also great, but feeling strong is something else, really.
Yeah. And it's wild how freeing that is. And also when you finally start to question all of these things that we are taught, and that's when you actually realize that fitness isn't one size fits all, you know, because
exactly
what works for you is not going to work for me. Firstly, we have different goals, so obviously it's not going to work for me. And secondly, we are different.
Yeah, bottom line, period. We are different.
All right, can we please take a moment to drag the scale? Because I am so sick and tired of the scale dictating to me and to you and everybody else what is actually going on, when that's just not the whole picture.
Yeah. And honestly, your relationship with the scale is one that can mess you up for years, because all you see is that number. And when that number is not what you want it to be, then you go into this frenzy about it and you become obsessive about that number on the scale.
Yeah, same. I was weighing myself continuously at a point. And if that number went up slightly, my whole world would shift, or my mood would change, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? Not take into account that so many things can be happening, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And people actually forget about the fact that their clothes are fitting them a lot better, or that they are feeling stronger, because they actually can't see past that number, and that's all that they really focus on.
Yeah.
And I just want to share something also that was very fun. I am on a mission actually to find a new pair of jeans, and I haven't bought jeans in a very long time. I still haven't found. I actually found a pair of jeans that fit nice, but now I see that they have this new style that's above your ankles jeans.
Ankle grazers have always been like that.
No, there's so many of them. It's in fashion now. So all the jeans that are nice at the waist or below the ankles. And I'm in winter currently. I'm like, I don't want my ankles to be out, you know. The reason I want this jeans is so I can wear it in Cape Town, but I can't find a pair because I've gone up a size in my jeans. And if I did not take into account the fact that I have properly been focusing on growing my glutes and I've been really pushing on my leg days, obviously my legs are going to grow. So the fact that I've gone up a jean size, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have put on fat. Yes, I've put on weight, but that is very well muscle. So I think it's also just being mindful of the fact that your clothes are fitting and what exactly you are doing to aid that result of how your clothes are fitting your body. So definitely be mindful of that, you know?
Definitely. And here's the truth. Just like you said now, the scale doesn't tell you what your body composition is. It doesn't measure your strength or your energy or even your confidence. So we can't go off the scale as the be all and is all. You know, we have to take it for what it is and also take in other factors when making a total picture, because that's what your trainer would do. We wouldn't just be like, oh, you picked up 2 kgs. No, you need to run 5 kilometers today. That's just not how it works.
Exactly. And it's also remembering the fact that you had that thing you ate last night, whatever it may have been, and now you're weighing yourself the next day. Maybe you're retaining some water. Maybe it's a week before your period. All of these things play a role. So always be mindful when you're stepping onto the scale. Almost have a chat with yourself and be like, okay, these are all the things that I did yesterday. Okay, now I'm stepping onto the scale knowing all of this. So your outlook on it will be a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And now I use the scale sometimes, but I use it more effectively. I mostly track my progress through photos or how I feel in my skin or how my workouts are going. Perfect example, before we pressed play on the episode, I literally mentioned to Donne that I was down to 74.5 kgs. And that was my goal weight for end of July, which I didn't make it for the end of July. And I wasn't going to stress about it. I was going to stress about it, but I wasn't going to stress about it. I was like, I was a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't reach the number in the time that I gave myself. I'm 2 weeks late. However, I have an insane life, insanely busy. When I'm not recording podcasts, I work full time as a marketing manager and I have my personal training stuff going on. And then I edit the podcast and do a whole lot of side gigs. And then I'm making sure that I'm training at least 4 times in the week, because I know putting it on myself to do more than 4 times, it's just not possible right now. I have a young daughter that requires my attention when I'm home. So even sometimes I'm like, I'm going to work again when I get home. I actually can't. After putting her to bed, it's 8:30 and then I'm finished after that, especially if I've woken up at 5:30 in the morning for my first client. So all of these things you need to put into context for yourself about your own life and about where you are. Yes, set goals for yourself. Maybe like I did, I want to weigh this weight by this time. And I do that based off how much I exercise, how much calories I'm consuming and stuff. That's how I calculate it. But obviously, I missed the ballpark. But being upset with yourself about it, it's just not going to change anything. You just have to be consistent, and continue to do the good habits that you are building.
Exactly. And to have that mental shift as well, to be lenient with yourself. Like you were 2 weeks late for your goal, but rather late than never. You know, you reached it. So now you can move on to the next step. But imagine you had this different outlook on it and you were, for example, like, oh, I didn't reach my goal by the time I gave it. So let me eat this thing because now it doesn't matter. Because that's often what happens as well. We don't get the gratification that we want and then we give up halfway. But that's like climbing a mountain almost to the top and you are 100 meters away and you turn around because you just gave up and you go back down, you know? So mental gains over numbers any day.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, supplement, our favorite topic.
We have wasted a lot of money on this. Really, so much money over the years. I could have bought a yacht by now. Joking. That's a joke.
Guys, I've been saying that I need to buy us a yacht because I'm ready to do laps on the deck of the yacht and, you know, workouts and stuff. But she's taking her time. Anyway.
Because I'm buying supplements, that's why.
We really thought that BCAAs were going to change our lives, eh?
Yeah, BCAAs, fat burners, collagen, pre-workout with more caffeine than sense, honestly.
Chasing that heart palpitation rush each day, but we all know that supplements have their place. They're not magic. If you're not eating enough, sleeping well and recovering the way you should, no powder is gonna fix that.
Yeah, and something to always remember is to focus on your food first. Real food, whole meals. Get all your macros and micros through your meals as much as you can before you supplement with a supplement. And also take into consideration your sleep and your hydration, and then maybe start with a protein shake before you adding on all of these fancy stuff, because there's a lot of things out there that you might not even need, you know?
Exactly. And we're saving you some coins.
Exactly.
Because even if Danae and I are going to be leaving a product the way we do in creatine and the way I do in BCAAs, like I've mentioned in previous episodes, we're also not going to pitch you something and say you have to take these things, because we understand and we value food first.
Yes, exactly. And the last big one is our favorite, and that is that rest is powerful. Your main tool actually is rest.
Oof, yes, because rest days used to make me feel guilty. But now, if I can get in a sneaky siesta, I'm all for it.
I remember that when I used to have rest days, I would often convict myself because I would feel like I'm falling off or I'm losing progress, when in reality, I was just tired and my body was begging me for rest. And often when I didn't, I would actually end up getting sick because my body is forcing me now to rest because I don't want to listen, you know?
Yeah. Or, you know, those chills you're getting like randomly, and then your hair starts standing up. That could also be a sign of overtiredness. But yeah, now we respect our rest because we know that sleep is anabolic. And what that means is that when you are sleeping, your body's producing growth hormone and B1 growth hormone. So sleep, because recovery is part of the process. I'm on leave now and wrote programs for my clients because they are not on leave, only me. And so the first 2 sessions of my leave that they are missing, I programmed the sessions as normal. But next week, which is the second week, I've programmed them a deload week, because I know when I'm back, I'm going to do another deload week, and then I'm going to take them back up a notch. So rest is important, guys.
Yeah. And like Zoe said, you grow when you rest. So we need to be real sometimes that the most productive thing you can do for your gains, if that is your goal, is strength and growth, then that is to rest.
Yes. And because recovery is everything. And now we want to share some quick bonus truths with you before we wrap up. And that is that you don't have to give up your social life to get results.
Yeah, and please hear us when we say that you can absolutely go out and you can absolutely have that glass of wine while you're eating your pizza and still crush your goals.
Because balance is key, and all or nothing mindset usually leads to burnout, not progress.
Yeah. And the goal is always to live and not just lift. So live your life, eat the pizza, drink the wine, have fun, and then still smash your goals.
Do what you want as long as you're not hurting anybody, I always say.
Yeah.
All right, that was a little therapy session. We've been having quite a few of them lately, but we hope it gave you a fresh perspective on your own journey.
And if you are out here and you are trying to unlearn old fitness rules and finding your groove, then you are doing it right.
Share this episode with someone who needs to hear the truth, or tag us and tell us which one hit home for you.
We are proud of you, and we are proud of you for continuing to show up for yourself, and even prouder if you are resting today.
Honestly. Until next time, keep lifting, keep laughing, and keep questioning, all the BS you hear.
Bye.
Bye.